Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
It's kind of funny. The video that I recorded that was 45 minutes long, ranting about Windows Vista, still receives a healthy amount of traffic to this day. Um, I had recently given Ponzi a computer that has Vista on it, and we actually mentioned it in a phone call last week that was recorded in an earlier video. Um, she's not too happy with Vista. Her words, not mine. She says Vista makes her feel stupid, and I think she's entitled to that feeling. Certainly, she's run into quite a few walls. I basically gave her a stock install of Windows Vista, Service Pack 1, and just kind of let her have at it. And she's just kind of frustrated with it. She says she likes how it looks, and I can't say she's wrong in that because in many ways it does look a lot better than Windows XP, but in many ways it doesn't. And I'm also kind of famous for my Windows Vista feedback post. In fact, I think if you Google for Windows Vista feedback, it's I think it's still in the top 10. My post. Jim Alchin asked me for feedback on Windows Vista Beta 2. This is before the product actually shipped, and I was going through it and I was like, these things are just so far off. I mean, fonts were off, pixels were just, all over the map. There was no consistency. And I was noting these things as I was going through them and just found it an overwhelming task. It took, just such a toll on me because I just felt I was just doing this for no reason because I didn't think they would be fixed. Some of the things admittedly did get fixed to their credit, but there was just so many bugs with the Windows Vista UI that I couldn't see past it. Well, recently, a Windows fanatic, a Windows fanboy, if you will, Long Zheng from istartedsomething.com, kind of made a call to action to the general community to highlight some user interface inconsistencies, the things that bug us. And it was kind of funny. In his list, I was like, "Yep, I complained about just about every one of those things." So everything old is new again. He's complaining about them now in the hopes that they'll be fixed for future versions of Windows. And Ed Bott decided to take a stab at me and said, "Well, instead of Pirillo's personal list, Long is making it a community effort." Well, anybody could have posted these, Ed. It wasn't a personal list at all. Certainly anybody would be welcome to kind of take that list and extend it. I think Long did a much better job at screen capturing than I did. I didn't have a lot of time to do it in, and certainly I wasn't getting paid to do it. I was doing it just to, see if I could find all these inconsistencies in the hopes that they would be fixed. They just weren't fixed. So if you care a lot about the Windows user interface and you want to see these things improved, head over to istartedsomething/taskforce. istartedsomething.com/taskforce, if I didn't say that right the first time. And Long has put together a site where you can go and you can vote on and leave comments for different bugaboos with the Windows user experience, the UX, or the UI, GUI, graphical user interface. UI stands for user interface. That's basically what you see here. And here's the thing. When I posted my list, I took so many lumps for it. I mean, people just raked me across the coals. How could you be looking at this font and that font and this font? It adds up. I mean, all that stuff adds up to a great user experience. And, Long's complaining about the same dang things that I was. Other people are too. But, of course, I was complaining about it before it was a final product. And, I guess that was the wrong way to do it. I don't think so. I think there's never a wrong time to give feedback like that to a team that can give some kind of direction on the user experience. So I've got to say, good luck, Long. Good luck with the task force. I'm certainly in full support of it. In using Windows, in using Linux, in using Mac OS 10, I see user interface inconsistencies in every operating system. It's just that for Vista and everything that Microsoft wanted it to be, I was trying to make it better. I genuinely was trying to make it better, and that's the reason I posted my feedback when I did. And some of it actually, the feedback that I did, as I said, some of it actually made it into the shipping product of Vista, and I was very, very, grateful for that. That someone was listening. Long has taken a much better, cleaner approach than I did. But again, everything I was doing was basically responding to a personal request from Jim Alchin. So anyway, I'm a huge UI guy, and I mean, it's got to be clean, it's got to be consistent, it's got to be usable, it's got to be friendly. I'm a power user, but if the user interface makes me think, it's a bad program. Period. End of story. That's a bad user experience. And I see it all over the place, not only in desktop apps, but in mobile phones. In fact, my mom, this weekend, when I was with her, we were in the surgery center waiting for my dad to get stitches. She was looking at her phone, and she was typing in a task. She said, I had no idea I can even make a task in my phone. And I'm thinking, that's a bad user experience. Because that's the first thing you should see, or it should just be blatantly apparent what the user needs to do. And the user shouldn't be expected to go to a help file or to try to figure it out. That's a bad user experience. And I've been vindicated, and certainly look to good programs, whether the program exists on the web, on Mac OS 10, on Windows, on Linux, on the iPhone, on Windows Mobile. It doesn't matter to me. A good program is a good program is a good program. A good user experience, a good UI. Man, that's what draws everybody in. And I'm telling you, it's about having a solid, stable, secure, fast program. But if it doesn't look good, forget it. Game over. I think aesthetics are taking a front seat with applications these days. The user experience is paramount. Again, istartedsomething.com/taskforce. I honestly would like to see something, an equivalent for this on OS 10. Because there are some user interface inconsistencies in OS 10 that I wish would be detailed like this, and I don't know if Long it would be interested in developing a OS 10 UX task force application based on this one. I'd love to see that, and if I can help with that in any capacity, let me know, because there are some massive inconsistencies in both Windows and inside of Mac OS 10. Believe it or not, there are different things, but still. Anyway, if you've got some feedback on this, is UI important? Are you also a UI kind of guy or gal? My email address is chris@pirillo.com. Am I crazy to look at the specifics like font sizes or font faces in an application? Is that just me? I don't know. Well, maybe you're a geek. And if you are, you're welcome to join us on our tech chat, which, is open right now. We're open 24 hours a day. 7 days a week, really, in conjunction with this live stream at my blog, which is found at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.